It's so silly because they see the self. Krishna sees the self standing there. Huh? Krishna sees the self standing there because he has non-dual vision. And out of the self's mouth is coming this emotional nonsense. Huh? Isn't that funny? I mean, he doesn't want to insult his friend by just, he does kind of insult him up here. He sort of insults him, but then that's just a pep talk to get Arjuna stirred up a little bit. But basically, this is very funny to Krishna because he sees only the self there, and now the self is saying, oh, I can't do my job, this is awful, I don't like it, I have to hurt somebody, that's not good, I won't fight. That's the self saying that. Huh? There's only the self, huh? And the self is saying that. Why is the self saying that? Huh? Because of Maya, which makes what is impossible possible. Because of this ignorance, the self is actually talking like a fool. And so Krishna, just a little smile on his face. It was reported. Sanjaya, this is like the teaching here is a remote control. It was what do they call it when you can see from a distance through some I forget what it is. Remote viewing. Yeah, this is remote viewing. It's reported to the blind king Dhritarashtra about the battle, and so Sanjaya, he's the guy that's a remote viewer. He's next to the blind king, telling him what happens, and what happens is a distance, and so he's reporting like that. So he says, standing between the two armies, Krishna, as if smiling, replied, "The wise grieve neither for the dead nor for the living." Hey, excuse me? What? What does that mean? There's only two categories in existence, isn't there? The dead and the living. Huh? And wise people don't grieve for either one of them. Why not? Why not? Huh? Why shouldn't you feel sorry for anything here? Because nothing can be other than what it is. If things could be other than the way they were, they would be, wouldn't they? But they can't. What are you going to do about the self? Is there any cause for grief on behalf of the self? No. What about this world, which is just a projection of ignorance? This world is not actually here, in the sense that it's not real. It's apparently real, it looks like it's real, but is it in fact real? Are the things that are taking place here in this world actually happening? Or are they just projected images born out of the ignorance of who I am? Are they like holograms? If this, and we said earlier, remember, in the Vivekachudamani, that this whole thing is a superimposition, a projection, a hologram. That when you investigate it using inquiry, what happens to this? It dissolves. It resolves or dissolves into what? Awareness. Because it's just made of awareness. What is the ring made out of? It's made out of gold. Is the ring anything other than gold? Does the ring have any independent existence from the gold? Does it actually exist apart from the gold? No, it doesn't. So what is it? It's just a projection. It's just a name and a form. So on the basis of that, is there any reason to grieve? Because it's not even real. This is a setup. And who's projecting this? You're not projecting this. The jiva, the individual's not projecting this. What's projecting this whole thing? Awareness plus ignorance. That's called God or Ishvara. Ishvara, God, is awareness plus ignorance. And that creates this amazingly lifelike three-dimensional dream in which all these little beings are running around, apparently conscious beings, but we know they're not conscious. Why? Because Maya's operating. So all the consciousness has been stripped out of everything here. So these are not real people here. These are apparent people here. Where is the reality in anything here? Where is it? If there's no reality, then what am I weeping about, please? Now this is, hey, don't worry. If you don't get it, don't feel bad. Because Arjuna doesn't get it, and then we got the rest of the Gita. We got 18 chapters. we got 18 chapters for you to get it. But see, there's no cause for grief here. Because Maya is just a projection. It's not real. And I'm living in this dream. When you wake up from this dream, say you got cancer in the dream. When you wake up from the dream, do you feel bad that you had cancer in the dream? No. Because why? Because it wasn't real cancer. That's why. Well, this whole thing is just exactly like a dream. It's purely projected by Maya, by ignorance, in you, in awareness, your awareness, in you this projection of the world is there. It looks all fantastic and tasty and juicy with all these bodies and objects and all this wonderful stuff to enjoy. Num, 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 and out you go. You think it's real. You're like, huh? But it's like cotton candy. You take a bite of it and where did it go? What, huh? It's dukkha, it's hollow, it's empty. There is no substance in it. There is no actual substance here. When you investigate it, it only looks like there's something there when you don't investigate it. I said, the other day I explained that term that the Buddhists use. And this is all relevant to here, of dukkha, or suffering. This chapter is called Arjuna Vishada Yoga, or means what? Arjuna's sorrow. So this sorrow or this suffering or this disillusionment or this disappointment is what Buddha called dukkha. And it's the same thing we're talking about here. And dukkha means what? Du means low and base and painful and hard and difficult. And ka means hollow. And so, and the example given in the scripture is of a bamboo. A bamboo looks very strong and substantial. It can hold up a lot. They're very sturdy. But when you look inside, it's empty. And this world here that we're worrying about, that we're grieving about, and that we're chasing all these little sexy things in and getting all disappointed about, this world looks really, really so solid and substantial, and it looks very real. But when you actually investigate it, it's hollow as anything. It's empty. And you hit the dark night of the soul. Arjuna's hit his dark night of the soul. He's realized it's empty, it's hollow. There's nothing here. He can't win. It's a lose-lose for Arjuna in this. There's no winning in this. He gets the kingdom, he gets all the glory, he kills his friends. Life's a zero-sum game. That's what he's saying here. So if it's a zero-sum game, all right, what are you worried about? Why are you grieving about it? It's like the relationship thing. I like to use an example of. You got a relationship, you got intimacy, but what do you lose? Freedom. You get attached to the thing you're intimate with. So you got a gain and you got a loss. You're out of a relationship, what? You get the freedom, but the intimacy goes. Zero-sum game. You don't get you don't beat the system by being in one, and you don't beat the system by being out of one. So why are you getting all worked up about anything? That's what he's saying here. That's why the wise grieve neither for the dead nor for the living. You can't grieve for this or you can't grieve for that. It's wasted time. You're just spinning your wheels existentially. There was, and he's going to tell him why. This is the beauty of Vedanta. We tell you why. We don't ask you to believe anything, we tell you why. You're intelligent people, you got an intellect, you want to know why. This is what inquiry means. Why? Why? What's happening here? Please tell me, I want to know. We're seeking knowledge here. Okay? There was never a time that I did not exist, nor you, nor these kings, nor will any of us cease to exist in the future. Because, what is he talking about here? Later on, what's Arjuna going to say? Hey, just a minute, excuse me? Because he's looking at it from this point of view, and this doesn't make any sense. What Krishna's talking about is from this point of view, and this doesn't make any sense to Arjuna, who's down here on this point of view. See? Got these two points of view, the self's point of view and the individual's point of view. And now Krishna's giving us what? The position or the point of view of what? The self. The self means you. But right now we'll just call it the self, as if it isn't you. But the self is you. So you got this choice here. You can look at things from this point of view, or you can look at them from this point of view. It's up to you. If you got any smarts and you understand what the difference is, you'll choose this point of view. And if you're an idiot and you're all attached to your stuff, then you'll choose this point of view, and you're trying to fiddle things here in the dream to make the dream acceptable to your likes and your dislikes. Well, fair enough. No law against it, but just do it and suffer. That's what you get, because that's what you get trying to fiddle anything in here to make it work for you. Nothing in here is designed to work for you. This whole thing is designed by Bhagavan to work for Bhagavan. And either you figure it out and surrender, or you don't. Or you just keep by fighting the tide, pissing into the wind, and wasting your life. Sorry. It's about it. I know. So sorry. Sorry about that. No, you got to be ready to abandon this point of view. You're just making excuses. If you just want to be this person, fair enough, be it. There's no law against it. But being this person, this human being, is not necessarily a great deal. It's got an upside, it's got a downside. Huh? It's just like anything here. So, you want to be free of it or not. This is freedom from being a human being with all these stupid problems. You want to be free or not? It's up to you. Well, we're trying to give you the reason why you can choose freedom. You can choose to see things from what? From the point of view of who you really are, or you can choose to see them from the point of who you apparently are. It's up to you. And there's no coercion here. As the understanding develops, you'll find yourself opting for this position over and over and over again until this identity, this small little identity, just slowly fades out. It's a gradual process. It takes time. Don't be waiting for some big magical cosmic explosion, enlightenment explosion, and think it's all going to get solved in one big fell swoop. It's not. You'll get your big epiphanies from time to time, but you'll fall back again. Slowly, just keep inquiring little by little, and that shift from this point of view, this relative limited point of view, to this limitless point of view will take place.